Do I have any recognition of visitors and delegations? Thank you. Number 5, correspondence and communications, Mr. Noel.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Luker. I have with me the calendar for the School Boards Institute for the 2014-2015 school year. It's all general publications. And I know in the future we'll have a board representative of this organization. And that concludes my correspondence and communications. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, board committee reports, staffing and curriculum, dated May 12, 2013.
Yep. Couple things on the agenda. We received the science curriculum cycle report, and New Hartford offers a strong and varied science curriculum for all students. Science enrollment at the high school is at an all-time high. The recent additions of courses such as advanced placement environmental science and biotechnology, combined with traditional courses, offer students a wide range of opportunities. The recent regional initiative, Nano Utica, will spotlight world-class science-based opportunities for our students. At the state level, the State Education Department is exploring a recently published set of standards similar to the Common Core standards, known as the Next Generation Science Standards. The committee reviewed this document in detail, and they recommended that the district stay the course for now and monitor policy changes from the state. The committee believes the current science program meets the needs of our students. Accordingly, the committee is recommending no major curriculum changes at this time. Committee members representing grades K through 6 reviewed recent advances in the Oneida Herkimer Madison BOCES Science Kit program. Although the committee members were very impressed with the quality of the revised BOCES kits, they also believe that the BOCES program is not ready at this time. BOCES indicates that they are in the process of updating and revising all kits for all grades, and the committee recommends that we wait until the kits are completely revised. At the secondary level, the committee recommends updates for curriculum materials such as textbooks and lab kits. Just an additional note, the AP Environmental Studies, which is a new program, this year there were 2 sections, and next year there's going to be 4 sections. So obviously that was a good move. And also something that was interesting was that there was a question, Mr. Flem actually asked a question about science. Was there less science in the curriculum, the elementary curriculum, because of Common Core? You know, obviously we're concerned about that, and they actually said that actually that's not the case, that ELA, what they do is a lot of stories that they read that are nonfiction incorporate interesting, science things. So it's very interdisciplinary. So there could be a passage about hurricanes or about starfish was one, or the environment. So they're feeling that there's actually sometimes getting more science because they're reading about this in different, ELA passages. So that was obviously good to hear. We talked about the summer programs. You can see driver's ed, music lessons, junior high summer school, and developmental program. We received the staffing and curriculum end of year goals. You can see those are listed. Of the 35 goals and sub-goals, 28 have been accomplished, 6 are in progress and will continue into next year, and 1 is delayed. We received a Common Core update also from Mr. Condro, and he updated the committee on the high school being selected for a Title I Reward School grant. And this grant is issued to high-performing schools that also receive Title I funding. The grant seeks to assist schools identified as focus or priority schools in the accountability system by exposing them to best practice from reward schools, which is us. So Mr. Condra and Dr. Spring presented at a recent conference on New Hartford's teacher feedback systems and the VIP program. So we were asked to help other schools with their Common Core literacy. We will be paired with regional schools to assist with their plans to meet accountability goals. We also talked about, I think at the last board meeting, we had somebody from a citizen come and talk about a novel that was in the English 12 class. We talked about that novel. We had the 2 teachers. We had Ms. Montesano and Ms. Sisai come and explain to us how they picked that book and why they used that book, and some historical context regarding the book. And Mr. Condro sent a letter to the mom showing that there's a procedure in policy 7002 if you have a concern about a book, and we're following up that policy. And then he passed out a New York Times article about reading, writing, entitled Reading, Writing, Arithmetic, and Linkly Coding, documenting the growth of computer programming. And again, this goes with our Delta new STEM program, and so we're just sort of like right there, like with the curve. Our meeting was adjourned at 5:28. Yes.
How long has that book been in?
A long time, yes. And
12 years.
And they talked about how they really, it's one of their favorite books because it teaches, you know, a lot of, I have it with some notes here. They just like the way the things that it teaches and for the kids, and they say that, you know, a list right here, importance of family, loyalty, racism, bravery, innocence, you know, a lot of trust, a lot of things that they feel are good themes, and, you know, again, they feel it's one of the, you know, the strongest books in their repertoire. Coming of age.
And we haven't had any complaints. I mean, it seems like, reading some of those passages, they're pretty
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. I think she said that in some other schools, they use that book, I think, did she say, like at a younger age? Some other school districts use that book at a younger age too. We use ours in 12th grade.
It has been the subject of controversy outside the district, though.
I have one question. Alan, with the new Delta program in the elementary school, is it true that the kids will miss recess in order to go to Delta? Is that how it's being?
It'll be presented as an option. It'll be held during recess one out of the 6 days, during the 6-day cycle.
It's once a week?
Yes.
Once every 6 days.
Once every 6 days, so it won't even be once a week.
It just seems like it's almost a punishment. You can't go out and play, you have to go do more math.
But it
It's
won't
not
actually be
really-
math, it's the literacy is during the recess time. It's gonna be run as like a book club.
Okay.
The Delta STEM will be outside of recess.
So the reading component of Delta is recess, right? When's the math component?
That will build into the schedule based on the students' individual schedules, so that we don't want them to miss, you know, core areas, obviously.
And it's not new Delta, it's Delta new.
Where does it literally go to NU?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yes.
Lisa, I have a question. So I
Yes.
know that each curriculum meeting, we ask those that are presenting how Common Core is going. Is there anything that we can do as a board? Has anything come up in the last month or 2 months that says that we can do anything extra above and beyond?
As far as continuing to look at Common Core.
Yeah, or even anything.
Well, I think the big thing was the,
Teachers
well, teachers have, I mean, the big thing is we talked about the grading scale, and we felt that was gonna be.
Which the new grading scale will go into effect in September, and we will be working this summer to revise the writing program as well as the length of assessments.
We haven't gotten any other feedback from the teachers or the department chairs that they need any other entities.
Well, we got some feedback at our last staffing and curriculum meeting, you know, from the department head.
Oh, you mean the social studies?
Yeah, you know, regarding, you know, that it was taking a lot of time and that it was, you know, the same stuff that, you know, that we're hearing regarding teacher time planning, you know.
Yes.
One final question. How will we, in terms of the new grading rubric that we're putting in place and whatever amendments are being made to the writing program, Alan just described, how will we be communicating that out?
To parents?
Yeah, to parents.
What we'll do, we'll start that work this summer that's currently in, you know, its planning stages for the summer. And we'll communicate that, you know, in letter form, and I imagine we could do some, maybe, you know, like last year we did the evenings with math for the parents, perhaps we could combine math and do something with writing for the parents.
You know, I think the Community Relations Committee should perhaps meet over the summer too and talk about some ways. I mean, there's some things, and I just sort of collected a pile from on board, things that other schools have done to try to communicate better with parents, with Common Core, you know, whether it's, you know, letter or whatever it is, a variety of ways. And we'll have a discussion over the summer to see what we can do.
Can you also just say, I think at curriculum night, where we have our most captive audience, those can be disseminated to the parents, the changes or the
Yeah.
new information.
Great.
And I think if we communicate throughout the year, we don't want to just communicate it in September, we want to do that throughout the year as well.
And has our whole staff has been apprised that this change is coming, correct?
Yes, I just sent out an email last week to all the elementary staff about the offerings this summer that are on My Learning, and that's open to
Was the question regarding the grade
The scale?
changing?
The scale, yeah.
The scale.
Oh, the scale, we're going to be communicating this.
You know, it was presented to the committee that the teachers were involved in the decision process, that it's not anything that is out of the ordinary for any other elementary school grading system. It is not out of the ordinary for our own secondary grading system. It's really to go to what else is out there, to be consistent throughout the grading. So yeah, the teachers were involved with it, and the other important thing about communication is that, you know, Alan is committed to continuing to watch, you know, as the Common Core test results come in, how it compares to our grading system.
How's enrollment? For this coming, for next year, how's enrollment? I know like Miles is supposed to be down, they might be reducing.
Yeah, there's a couple of grade levels I know that are reducing section.
We reviewed that in a previous staffing curriculum meeting. Enrollment's relatively stable district-wide. There will be a couple of changes here and there between the grade levels, but that happens each and every year. And we also had movement over the summer that will be reviewed in the future.
Yeah, can I just segue into the teacher center policy board? Sure. Because there was a teacher center policy board meeting on May 15th, and just to, you know, she just basically talked about all the different things teachers about the same D'Onofrio, community education, and also the thing that I think is a little interesting is all the different professional development and in-service things that we offer through our teacher center. You know, this is just a report from April 3rd through May 14th, that there was 15 different workshops being offered with 158 participants. And again, that's just in 6 weeks with an April break in between, you know. So again, you know, I'm always amazed at all the different things that we offer and how lucky we are that we have our own teacher center. And, you know, she always reiterates the fact that she's, you know, so happy that the board is so committed to the teacher center and so supportive of the teacher center. And, you know, of course we are, and I think that what helps, you know. And so obviously she started planning for summer, all the different, you know, workshops and things that are scheduled for the summer. So again, we should really feel proud of ourselves for this wonderful teacher center that we have.
Yeah, and let me ask you, Lisa, how many other districts locally have a teacher center? Do we know?
You know, I think Whitesboro has one. I know there's, I have a list actually at work. I communicate with them at work, but there's not a lot that have their own teacher center.
And I commend, you know, Alan and parents, because that is one of the staples that we have, and especially during Common Core, it really has assisted not only the community in their outreach, but as well as the teachers in providing some support. Item 7, new business. A, personnel appointments. A, summer school teachers.
It is recommended that Eve Kelly, Justin Spanet, Lisa Manley, Tammy Wiley, and Derek Richards be appointed as teachers for the 2014 Perry Junior High summer school session.
Second. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Beth. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 1A passes 7-0. B, development program, summer school staff.
It is recommended that the following be appointed as summer school staff for the developmental program for the period of July 17, 2014 through August 15, 2014. Denise Altamiro, Gina Stagliano, Lynn Roberts, Tammy Zecca, Ann Tara, Liz Halpin, and Terry Draper.
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Lisa, second. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? 3 passes 7-0. 7C, Social Studies Department Chair.
It is recommended that Sandra Towers Halpin be reappointed to the position of Social Studies Department Chair effective July 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2019.
Motion? Thank you, Bill.
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 7C passes 7-0. D, bus driver.
It is recommended that James Lilly be appointed to the position of bus driver effective May 28, 2014.
Move.
Thank you, Jim. Second. Thank you, John. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? D passes 7-0. E, substitute office specialist.
It is recommended that Martha Midoff be appointed to the position of substitute office specialist 1 effective May 28, 2014, pending satisfactory clearance for employment by the State Education Department.
Moved.
Second. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Beth. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? E passes 7-0. F, substitute teacher aide, substitute school monitor.
It is recommended that Gertrude Rice be appointed to the substitute positions of teacher aide 1 and school monitor effective May 28, 2014, pending satisfactory clearance for employment by the State Education Department.
Motion? Thank you, Beth. Thank you, John. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? F1 passes 7-0. F2.
It is recommended that Michelle Smith be appointed to the substitute positions of teacher aide 1 and school monitor effective May 28, 2014, pending satisfactory clearance for employment by the State Education Department.
Move.
Thank you, Lisa. Second. Thank you, John. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? F2 passes 7-0. G, substitute teacher aide 1, substitute school monitor, substitute office specialist 1.
It is recommended that Rachel Freiberger be appointed to the substitute positions of teacher aide 1, school monitor, and office specialist 1 effective May 28, 2014, pending satisfactory clearance for employment by the State Education Department.
Move. Second.
All discussion?
Is there any requirement certifications required for any of those titles?
Now, they're, not for substitute. If they decide they want to become a permanent office specialist 1, they need to sit for a civil service exam. The other are not their titles.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? G passes 7-0. 7-2, leave of absence.
It is recommended that Jessica Saraceno's request for a voluntary layoff under the terms of Article 10, Section C8 of the New Hartford Teachers Agreement for the 6th consecutive year period of September 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2020 be approved.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Discussion?
This is for, why do you do a 6-year? They're entitled to that under contract, I believe it's maternity leave. Child raising.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 2 passes 7-0. B, cooperative bidding resolution.
It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the district's participation in a cooperative bid with Madison United BOCES during the 2014-2015 school year for the purchase of various types of computers and technology commodities.
Motion? Thank you, Jim. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Beth. Discussion?
Is there any changes from last year?
No.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? B passes 7-0. C, Committee on Preschool Special Education.
The recommendations from the Committee on Preschool Special Education's meetings of April 25th, May 2nd, and May 9th of 2014 are presented for approval.
Motion?
Move.
Thank you, Lisa. Second? Thank you, Jim. D, Committee on Special Education.
The recommendations from the Committee on Special Education's meetings of May 2nd, May 5th, May 6th, May 7th, May 8th, May 12th, May 13th, and May 14th, all of 2014, are presented for approval.
Motion? Thank you, Paul, second? Second. Thank you, Beth, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? D passes 7-0. E, 504 Committee.
The recommendations from the 504 Committee's meeting of May 5th, 2014, are presented for approval.
Move.
Thank you, Jim, second?
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? E passes 7-0. 7, new business. Resolution approving settlement agreement.
It is recommended that the Board of Education adopt a resolution approving a settlement agreement and authorize the superintendent of schools to execute said agreement.
Move.
Thank you, Jim, second?
Second.
Thank you, Beth. Discussion? All those in favor?
Is the,
Aye.
I got a question, is the resolution part of the public record as well? Or was that the resolution?
That is the resolution.
Okay.
No, the resolution is the thing that's attached.
Is attached.
Yeah.
Do we need to read that?
We don't need to, since the board's preference to pass.
Yeah, I'd like to, for the record, I'd
We
like.
don't usually read the whole resolutions, plus bands, et cetera. We summarize them.
Yeah, but it is in the public record, right?
This will be in public,
Oh.
record, absolutely, read the minutes.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes 7-0. Item 8, other business.
I have 2 items for executive session. For this discussion of matters leading to an employment contract of a particular person. And at 7:45 PM, I expect Attorney Ben Brown to come to the district, so we will invite them in. Subsequently, the board expects that no further business will be attended to at the conclusion of the executive session. At the end of the meeting, the board will adjourn and undergo a Board of Education retreat training session with its school attorney.
Thank you, Bob. I have an item. Mr. Flemma, a few weeks ago, you questioned the authority of the board presidency. I'd like to pass out our bylaws, and on there are 2 items highlighted. One is appointment of all committees, and the other one is item 6, perform such other duties as customarily involved upon the presiding office of a legislative body. That's where I get my authority from. That's that. Please take that out.
We need a motion for the executive session.
Can I have a motion for the executive session, please?
No, well, we're still discussing your discussion. I asked some specific questions. I asked, under what authority do you have, and you tell me under this bylaw, under what authority you have to present a board decision to the New Hartford Task Force that never occurred. You claimed in your email that the board's decision was such. The board never took it under advisement, never made a decision on it, but you represented it as the board's decision. Under where here do you get that authority?
Item, right there, item 6. On bylaws of the Board of Education, item 6. That's where I get my authority. As far as addressing the letter back to the task force, in the task force letter, it specifically called out president and vice president. We responded together jointly. It wasn't about the decision, because the decision didn't reside with the president and vice president. The decision resided with the fact that and per other board members letting the task force know that it resided with the fact that they did not have appropriate insurance per our policy to.
You represented it as I've got the email, you represented it as a board decision.
It was not a board decision.
But you
And that was
represented-
your interpretation of it.
No, it's
though,
not.
but
It's a
that was not-
sentence.
was
It
not-
says it,
it
the
was
board's
not-
decision.
It was not a board
Okay.
decision.
All right, well,
okay? It
I
was
disagree
for
with that.
our policy. The policy says if you want to have accommodating our facilities, you need to have insurance. And several times the task force was asked, do you have insurance? The question came back, no, therefore they could not use
You
our
won't address the
facilities.
question, but that's okay. Now,
Okay.
the other question I had was, under what authority, you're going to say number 6 here, do you have to write an editorial without consensus, without discussion by the board as the board president?
Item 6,
That is not customarily done.
that.
But anyway,
What-
if that's
okay,
your,
you
if
said
that's,
it was not customarily done, what is the basis of your statement of saying that?
because you cannot,
What is your
my
basis for
basis
that
is,
statement?
under this thing here, let's go back to it, is that no board member will represent themselves as the board.
Yep.
And you've done so in both cases.
Okay, and as I stated in correspondence to you and to the rest of the board, and I will take a straw poll if anybody thinks that I didn't act in accordance, the committee, the Community Relations Committee came to me, which is comprised of several board members, so I did not act alone, in conjunction with our superintendent, with full knowledge that that was going out to the newspaper.
Well, why didn't
Okay?
the board know?
So your question of
Why
what
didn't the board
authority
know?
is addressed in item 6.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It
But
is.
that's okay. That's your opinion. You have gone against our bylaws in both cases.
I beg to differ. Can I
Okay.
take a straw poll on this board, and I want it in record? Does anybody feel that I ever acted with integrity on those 2 issues? Paul, did I act without integrity, or, Beth?
Straw poll.
No.
No.
Jim? No.
No.
Lisa? John? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Consensus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
We have a
sometimes,
motion on the floor to go into executive session.
Yes.
I think sometimes Ed will say something, and it's his interpretation, and we are supposed to believe his interpretation.
I think
So sometimes we should probably question his interpretation.
I hope you do, and I hope you do, because that's what I'm doing to this board. It's my impression that
Well,
this
maybe we
board
should start
rubber
doing it
stamps
to you.
anything that comes across his desk.
Well, we'll start doing it.
Good.
We have,
And you can't answer.
I apologize for that.
And we
I apologize for that, and you were
Apologize to the
unethical.
people out,
That's
to
unethical.
apologize to the people that were out there in public.
You were unethical.
I'm unethical.
Yes.
Did you and Eddie
Is
tell me?
this what
Okay,
this body
okay,
is supposed to
Okay,
do?
listen, we're in public session, we have a motion on the floor in a second to go into executive session, right? And we need a vote on
No, you need a vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Wait, who was this? I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's a motion to go.
I made the
this.
motion.
Motion
Back.
second? Okay, let's get a
Oh.
motion in a second.
I'll second.
That's a
I'll
motion,
second.
yeah, that's a
In
motion.
executive session. Okay. Thank you.
At 7:45, we'll come
We'll
in.
invite,
We'll invite Pam. Does anybody have any problem with Pam coming in?
No.
Can you invite her?
Bob, there's going to be nothing further after the
There's nothing
executive?
further after. There will be a training session. It will not be open to the public, but there will be a training session. We will